And welcome back to Metropole Sports Center. My name is Nation Owano. Time for us to put into perspective the league resumption updates that I'd given you earlier in the show. And as often, I'm joined by our resident analyst, John Makali, to contextualize the whole conversation. Now, just before we bring John Makali into the conversation, this past week there's been a lot of protests, I beg your pardon, that have been taking place in different parts of the world. The reason for this protests was because of the death of African American, that is George Floyd, who died in the hands of the police. Now, when you're talking about matters race, it is not the first time that you're mentioning the issue of race in the sporting arena. Now, on Metropole Sports Center, we take this opportunity to weigh our voice into the whole conversation about race. Now, John Makali, this is not the first time we're talking about the issue of race in the sporting arena. I mean, a couple of years ago or months ago, we had the issue of Mario Balotelli was a subject of racial abuse. What do you have to say about that?
First of all, today it seems like you're not okay. Something is bothering you. Anyway, just to bring it that in, the other day, so you posted something on one of your social media accounts, and it was all about the Floyd death. To me, I was looking at it in this perspective, like it's not all about the sporting activity only. If you look at it in this way, like that journalist who was arrested, Omar Jimenez, like everyone needs to stand up to fight this thing. And it's very unfortunate when you look at sports. Like just the other day, some players in the Bundesliga, which is on, like Jadon Sancho, and the other players who are trying to protest. I just saw Sancho was shown a yellow card when he removed his shirt to pay tribute to Floyd and the family. So and it's very unfortunate. You look at it, and then he was being carded, and they feel like they want to sanction the players. And something interesting is that FIFA came out and they were saying, like, I mean, you guys, like literally, you need to use your common sense. That's what they said. You need to use common sense. You're not supposed to sanction players because they're actually protesting and they're showing effort to curb racism that has been happening over a long period of time. So and I'm very happy England, they say that when football is back, the FA they're going to use that approach, the common sense approach, which FIFA said, not to charge players. So I mean, everyone needs to stand up in fighting all the players. You know, initially players were afraid, like if we protest, maybe I'm going to lose my position in the team as a player. I'm not going to get the playing time, or maybe I'm going to be charged, and the charges are always high. But I think it's a good way now that FIFA is saying that, you know, if players are going to protest, just let them do, because this is, I mean, we're going to use football to fight this thing.
Okay, so do you think the fact that now FIFA is sort of loosening their stance in terms of allowing players to use common sense in terms of that particular issue of race, do you think it's sort of instigated or pushed in that direction with what is happening in the world? Because racial profiling and abuse has been going on in the football arena, but FIFA has never come out so strongly and said, this is the direction that we need to take with relation to this.
I mean, FIFA are doing this because, you know, apparently it's worldwide. Everyone is trying to protest. You've seen in America things are worse. Not only in America, but across the world. Even here in Kenya, people are trying to go to the embassy there to try and protest against the same. But you look at it in this way, like players used to protest initially, but the likes of Kevin Prince Boateng, they used to protest, but it was not being taken that serious. But FIFA have now seen, like, you know, this thing is a bit too much. So if we are going to support the players in whatever they're doing, but again, you know, FIFA says it's not, they're going to look into the gestures. If maybe you're trying to mean something else, then maybe you're going to be charged. But if you're trying to protest against racism and the chants and everything, because they're talking about this is all about human race. So backing up the players, it's a good idea, and I think in a short period of time, even when EPL is back, we're going to cap this menace.
Okay. So when if we continue talking about race, I think we can go on and on and on, because there are so many dynamics that are involved in terms of the whole conversation about race. Earlier on, when I was mentioning the league resumption updates, I couldn't help but notice a grin on your face. Was it? Are you happy that the league is finally resuming, and the fixtures are going to be honored? First of all, I wanted to get your take on what is going on in the Bundesliga. A total of 11 goals were scored within a span of 2 matches. That is Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. So what do you make of that particular whole league development so far?
I mean, National, I'm not always proud of Bundesliga, but as a journalist, you just have to keep tabs with them. You find that in some particular games, you get up to 5 goals. I mean, the teams there can't even defend. They're not even on the same level. We only have Bayern and Borussia Dortmund, which are a bit trying to fight for the title. But again, to me, it's a one-team race there. It's all about Borussia Dortmund, the Bayern Munich. They've invested in their team very well. They're trying to pick top players to come into their team. I think like 1 year ago, they even wanted to sign Timo Werner, who is currently, I think in the next like 15 days, he'll be out of his contract. So they're trying to pick best players to boost their team. What these other teams need to do is to actually invest in their teams. And, you look at a team like Leipzig, they're doing very well, but they have good players like Timo Werner, who wants to leave. But again, you see, they nurture players when they are well brought up, and then they want to sell them. So the team loses its stability. So you find out that these players, when they move to other teams, Bayern are investing, and it just becomes a one-team show in the Bundesliga.
Okay. The fact that Bundesliga is the only league that is continuing at the moment, any interesting dynamic or any interesting changes that you probably noticed between the English Premier League and the Bundesliga as of now?
I think apparently not so much has changed, because they're trying to curb the coronavirus spread, and maybe the kind of pre-match handshakes and celebrations. I mean, those things, we're not seeing them. They're trying to keep the distance. But again, when you look at it in this perspective of competition, it's not actually there. So many teams are very reluctant in terms of fighting for that title. So to me, I think not really. I'm not seeing any big changes.
Okay.
I mean, Bundesliga, it's far much better when you have the fans in the field. I think they have one of the best chants in the world. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of the league standings, as of right now, Bayern Munich is at the top of the league with a total of 67 points, followed by Borussia Dortmund. Do you think it's a done deal for Bayern Munich?
I think it's a gap of 7 points. Borussia Dortmund, actually, they lost it when they were beaten 1-0 by Munich. So to me, it's a one-team show. For now, we just have to give it to Bayern Munich, and maybe Borussia, they try next time, or in the UEFA Champions League.
Okay. So in a matter of a few days from now, you're probably going to be watching your team Chelsea playing in the English Premier League. What the latest development in terms of the league resumption in the English Premier League? Is this something that you are expecting to see, or what was your take on that?
Actually, apparently, England, the measures that they have taken, it's actually the best across the world. And just the other day, they did their 5th test among the players and all the staff in the team across England, from the top team to the last team, the 20th team. And Tottenham Hotspur, I saw Tottenham Hotspur, they have a case. They're just keeping the name private. They don't want to disclose that, but I think there's only one case for Spurs. And when you look at even EPL, they did their 4th round test, and have like 12 cases or 9. So, but the good thing is that the measures that they have put in place, they're actually the best. And on 11th, we're going to have La Liga back. Then subsequently on 17th, we're going to have English Premier League. And then Serie A will come last. But people are more interested in English Premier League. You look at the Bundesliga, when it started, actually, the viewership was so many people flocked TVs to watch. Millions and millions of people flocked. But it has not been that interesting to fanatics, because the people prefer mostly English Premier League. It's a bit more competitive, and tactical, it's a bit higher, unlike the other teams. So for me, when we go back to English Premier League, I think it's going to be very interesting to... Actually, it's odd that the fans won't be in the field, but we just want to experience how it all goes. So let's see how the first fixtures will go. You know, people want to see the likes of Manchester, how Pogba, we have heard rumors that Pogba might leave, but again, people are on social media talking about their connection, how are they going to link up on the field. People want to see maybe Pogba making an assist to Bruno and his scores and such like things.
Okay. In the duration of the break, there was the whole conversation. There was the whole conversation about whether Manchester United were warranted to spend all that amount of money on Bruno Fernandes. Do you think it was worth it?
Yeah, he's a great player. He's worth it, and he's shown in that kind of quality. Even when he came to Manchester United, remember the derby between Manchester United and Manchester City. He was very instrumental. He had an assist to Martial. So to me, he has been great. But I mean, we need to actually have him with Pogba, along Pogba, and see how Manchester United are going to perform. But again, if Manchester United are not willing to give Pogba that chance to stay, you know, it's a bit troublesome for Bruno Fernandes, the likes of Lingard there, and the likes of Rashford. I mean, those young players are not that experienced, unlike having Pogba there.
Okay. So finally, in terms of the league standings, right now, before the whole COVID-19 pandemic started, Liverpool were the top of the league. In the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona were the top of the league. Any major changes you're expecting in those two leagues in terms of team standings?
I mean, in La Liga, Barcelona are going to take it. It's actually clear. But in England, we look at Liverpool. They've been consistent in terms of playing. So what other teams are trying to do is just actually trying to get that top 4 position in order to be in the UEFA Champions League next season. But for Liverpool, they've already won the title.
Okay. Major surprises you're expecting in the two leagues?
Major surprise, Manchester United won't qualify for the UEFA Champions League. I think the petition that Manchester City did, I mean, they're going to be allowed to participate in the league next season. So a top 6 position of 5 for Manchester United won't make them qualify for the title. And then teams, Aston Villa, most likely, Grealish saying that they need to give their all to make sure that Aston Villa remains in the top tier.
Arsenal, you think they are going to make it to the Champions League?
Apparently the top 10? No. Sheffield is there, you have Wolves, Spurs. No, Arsenal won't make it.
Okay.
It's going to be tough.
So, with that statement that you made about Manchester United, I hope you have bodyguards, because there are pretty much a lot of Manchester United fans. I'm just concerned so that next time I get to see you on the show. But thank you so much for finding time to come on the show. Looking forward to having you on the show once again. Next week, for our viewers, probably you'll tell our viewers what we have in store. Next week we might be having a Kiswahili challenge. So we're going to host the show entirely in Kiswahili. I hope after the show I'm not going to be talking Kiswahili again.
Maybe you try and sign out Kiswahili so that you can expect that next time.
That's a good start. I'll try do that. But thank you so much for coming in studio. Now, we quickly look at the Money Ref segment of the show. On the Money Ref segment, we are going to be looking at the sporting, the swimming, which earlier I had shown you a clip of Michael Phelps, who considered one of the legends in the swimming profession. Now, in the American Olympic Committee, the participants in the American team are given a stipend in the following categories. So if you're competing in the Olympics and manage to take home a gold medal, you're going to be given a total of $37,500. In the silver category, you're going to be given $22,500. And then when you go home with the bronze, you're going to be taking home a total of $15,000. Now, it's important to mention that this amount of money is on top of the total prize money that you get once you've won the competition. Now, since we are talking about Michael Phelps, who's considered one of the legends in the swimming profession, it's important to mention that Michael Phelps has managed to win a total of 28 medals in the Olympics. Out of those 28 medals that he managed to win, he managed to get a total of 23 gold medals, 3 silver medals, and 2 bronze medals. Since you're talking about money, the following are some of the important endorsements that Michael Phelps managed to get in the sporting arena. He managed to get a sporting endorsement with Speedo, fashion house Louis Vuitton, Omega, which is a watch manufacturing company, and then Master Spals. The reason why I'm bringing out these endorsements aspects of the sport is just to show you how you can, the possibility which can be achieved if sport is run in a professional manner. Now, on the sports facts today, we are going to be still sticking to matters swimming, and here are some interesting facts that you did not know about swimming. Now, swimming burns almost 40% of calories in your body. The biggest pool in the world is 7 times than a football field, and it is in Casablanca, Morocco, right here in Africa. The other interesting aspect that of fact you didn't know about sport is that the first ever swimming goggles were made from tortoise shells. Swimming involves water, and the first goggles were made from tortoise shells, so it sort of like makes sense. And then world record for breath holding is 24 minutes and 3 seconds, and it's held by Spanish Alex Segura Vendral. And then women were allowed to participate in Olympics in 1912. Remember, swimming was allowed, or was admitted, or was introduced at the Olympics in 1896. So between 1896 and 1912, 1896 and 1912, women were not particularly allowed to participate in the sport of swimming. Well, that's all the time that I had for you on Metropole Sports Center. Wishing you a sporty weekend. See you next week when we'll be doing the whole show in Kiswahili. Good night, and have a nice weekend.